I wanted to watch this video by Ponty.
Here, I released a difficult game about climbing. One of the most hated games on the internet.
That is true.
I grabbed it! No way! No!
It's me.
Success. If you haven't played it,
It's me again.
it's a game about climbing.
So far, so easy, so breezy.
And it's pretty difficult.
What?
You use your mouse to pull yourself up an enormous mountain, and it was inspired by Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. On release, everybody was playing it, and they all hated it.
This game is dog shit. I hate this game.
Dude, I think this is a bad game. Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
But they kept playing it anyway, for some reason. Some people were stuck in this area for a long time.
This jump was really fucking hard. I remember this jump. This is where I had to learn about the fucking mechanics of this game. This jump is what made you learn this game.
What am I supposed to do here? Okay, I'm literally stuck.
Everyone was struggling, and I was relaxing.
The problem, though, is that the game is way too easy.
Wait, that's not the problem. Wait, sorry, what the fuck does he... How does he think? The problem is that the fucking game is ass from a butt. That's the problem, Ponty. I don't know where you got off thinking that too easy was the problem.
Come on, man!
Far too many people completed the game and even said that it was easier than Bennett's game. So, I spent an entire year making a whole new level for the game. And this video documents the entire journey I suffered through to make it. It's a completely new adventure built from the ground up, and you can play it right now. And the dumbest part is that it's completely free for everybody who owns the game. So I don't want to hear any excuses. Now go play it if you dare.
I played it. I did it.
Initially, I was planning on just making a harder version of
I did it, lol, I did it.
the original map as an additional challenge once you complete it. And it's probably going to take me about 2 weeks or so. Easy peasy retirement squeezy.
Chad, thank you for the member.
Except, just making the game harder with tougher jumps and longer falls is lazy and boring. And I don't think anyone is going to fall for that.
Yep.
Get it? Fall for that?
Oh, I didn't.
No?
No, I
Okay,
didn't.
so if we want to trick people into suffering through this game one more time, we're gonna have to do it right with new challenges and new environments, which might take a bit longer than 2 weeks, I think. Okay, so let's think about this. The way I designed the original game was with 7 unique zones, each with its own mechanic. The jungle has running water, which, if you touch it, pushes your hand down. Then we introduce moving objects, and so on, to keep things interesting. A lot of people were stuck on this wheel for a long time.
Ooh! No!
I'm just fucking working hard. Like, why are we zooming in on my fucking face? I'm fucking working, bro. I'm locked in here. I'm actually really, really locked in. I don't feel the need to be judged. I'm not dead inside. I'm just...
So the idea for the new map would be to add at least 7 additional zones, each with its own unique feature. The problem is that I already used all my good ideas for the first map, so it isn't looking very good for our new map. But I did have a few ideas that I couldn't fit into the original game, so maybe we can start with those. The first one was to have wind zones.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I would have hated wind zones so much. Wind zones are fucking ass. It is the worst zone in Jump King. It's so bad. It's just fucking like, it's just so infuriating because you have to wait for the wind.
You have wind, which pushes the player in some direction, and which makes everything more difficult. also makes it a lot more frustrating, and it's not very fun. So let's not do that.
Good looks.
I tried turning gravity off, which was awful. And I also created this underwater level, which was even worse. I think we need to think about what this game is really about.
Yeah, there's a weird thing with the physics engine where when you are out of water and you like do this motion, it paddles you to the right. But if you're underwater, it paddles you to the left. I don't know how to explain that different.
And you might think it's a game about climbing, but it's actually a difficult game about surfaces. We have grippy rocks, slippy rocks, water, moving surfaces, and so on. And so we need to give the player something new and interesting to interact with, and not just take stuff from the original map and add things to make it harder.
God, and his fucking brilliant idea was slanted, slippery slopes, where if you grab it too quickly and move your hand, you'll slide off. Fucking horrible fucking idea.
So, can you think of any new surfaces we could add to the game? Well, I have a couple of ideas myself. I started off with mud. It's like you can't really stop on it. You keep sliding down, but you can go up. But it's, you know, I don't really know exactly myself how it works. And so it's probably not fair to ask players to understand it either. What if we had some sort of sticky goo instead where you get stuck, but then how do you get unstuck? Yeah, good thinking, Ponty. What?
Yeah, good thing the game he came out with didn't piss me off.
What if we had a surface which you can't touch? Like
TVN, well, I think
lava.
in 20 months.
I really like this, and it feels like a pretty obvious obstacle now that I see it, so we're definitely keeping that one. Another idea is to have directional friction. So it's grippy in one direction, but slippery in another direction. Unfortunately, Unity doesn't have that built in, but it should be pretty quick to make. Yeah, I somehow eventually got it working though.
No, you didn't. Nope. What I think was in the game is not what I would call working. It did not work. It's not the use. I wouldn't use those words. It functioned, I suppose.
And it's pretty irritating, but I do think we can make some interesting obstacles out of this. People are not gonna like this.
No, they're not. Pawnee's
I think it's time to make our level. So for each area, I try to come up with as many obstacles as I can possibly think of. And then I'll pick my favorites and string them together into a sequence. And I'll often try and combine obstacles as well so that it's as dense as possible without being overwhelming. A huge problem with the original map was the cave, but not for the reason you might think. Yes, it was too difficult.
I can't grab it!
But the bigger problem was that it was a closed loop. Once a player got to this point, there was no way of falling back down to the rest of the map. It probably should have been a little easier, but allowed you to fall back down.
There's like 5 hard jumps.
That was the most desperate whimper I've ever seen from this man. I've never seen that emotion on his face. Look at the emotion on his face. I've never seen this. This is the craziest. I've never seen this before ever.
So to allowed you to fall back down.
There's like 5 hard jumps.
So to prevent
That's like, right? I've never. Yeah, he's pleading. He's desperate for just an inch of grace from
this from being a problem in this new map, I have come up with a strategy. If we think of our level as being separated into tiny little steps, at any given time, you have to be able to fall back at least 2 steps. By this logic, if you keep screwing up, you will be able to set yourself all the way back to the bottom, no matter where you are in the map. But we also want to prevent 2 big falls and make sure that failure is incremental, which will make it feel more fair and justified to the player. At least that's the theory. Of course, we do want a couple of high-stakes moments here and there, but we want to make sure they're not too frequent. We also need to think about how to actually put this new level into the original game. So I want to find a way to integrate this so that it feels almost like it's part of the base game. You just didn't know about it. I really like how in Jump King, you access the DLC map by just simply veering off to the left, right here in the middle of the map, which makes it feel like it was kind of always part of the game. So I want to take inspiration from that and hide the entrance somewhere in the original level. Now, I want it to be accessible by everyone, and I don't want to require the player to actually finish the base game first before they can access the map, so I'm gonna have to be a little creative here. Well, I don't want to spoil it for the 3 people who actually want to play this new map, but let's just say that I took some inspiration.
Yeah, you'd be lucky if there was 3, buddy.
From this failed underwater level. The new map starts down in the sewers, and so I experimented a lot with tight spaces and having to squeeze through. After you make your way out of the sewers, which might take you a while, you'll enter this desert, this sort of bright, saturated environment to really contrast the sewers. And in the end, I ended up making 9 new zones for the game, with completely unique environments and challenges. And as you can probably imagine, when I was actually prototyping all of this, I obviously didn't have any finished assets. So for example, the lava, as I was building it up, actually looked like this. Not very impressive, but it just doesn't make sense to spend a bunch of time creating assets if you don't know if it's gonna work in the game or not. And so once I had basically completed the entire level, I probably spent an additional 6 to 7.
This is the worst part of the game.
So
this is the worst part of the fucking game. Bar fucking none. This part is so ass. This part is so fucking ass.
I had basically completed the entire level. I probably spent an additional 6 to 7 months just making all the assets.
6, 7.
And adding all the sound effects to the game. Like I always say, it takes time to make games, guys. I hope you guys will enjoy this new level. I actually really put a lot of effort into it, and while it is very difficult, I think it'll be very rewarding for especially players who don't know about it and who might just accidentally stumble on it after finishing the game the first time. So I think it was a great addition to the game, and I'm glad it's in there. But don't take my word for it. I'll just let Ludwig give his first impression instead.
Yep, we get on that one. Fuck you, Party! Fucking piece of shit ass fucking YouTube dev. Fucking bullshit ass fucking game, bro.
I think he likes it.
I don't. You have me mistaken for somebody else. You have me mistaken. I just needed to prove that I can beat it. Okay, which I did. Now I'm one of the best gamers in the world. Okay, that's what I did. What's funny is so the game initially came out. There's a spike in players, right? 8Xs or whatever. And then it goes down. And then the second peak the game had is the day I beat the game. Because I think I convinced 100 people that they could beat the fucking game. And I hope to fucking God they all failed miserably and quit. Because they can't. Because it requires something different in a man. It requires a dedication that most people don't have, okay? I did it first try. Oh, actually, I should check the Steam achievements. View all achievements. Wow, 0.3% of players. Find a way to leave this place. Escape, 0.3% of players. There's really only 2 more achievements that I'm missing. Escape 50 times, reach the peak 50 times. Oh my God. Wait, does this escape, does that mean beat the game on the fucking secret mode 50 times? Do it. I'm not an achievement hunter, so I don't personally care to do it. That is a bit too much work for me. You know what? Let's read the most recent reviews. Stick the 50 win achievement up your ass. I like the game, but with the 2 new achievements, it goes down on having fun in my eyes in my 100% game. Thanks for nothing for this useless grind. Used to be good, but then got a update. The update added a new map and 3 new achievements. All those are terrible. This map is much longer and extremely punishing. Are there people who really fucking like grind achievements? All these people are just genuinely mad about the achievement. I had 100% completion on this game until the 2 new win 50 times achievements showed up. Doing that and getting over it was feasible since every climb got easier than the last, but this game is not built for that kind of grind. This game will give you hemorrhoids. That's a fair complaint. I think this is the only reasonable downvote. Dude, everyone is so mad about the achievements. You get a perfect game medal for a game with achievements on Steam. And do you lose it if they add it, I guess? I hope Trump presses that fucking red button on his desk so this game will be eviscerated from Earth itself. Actually, no. I hope this game is never to be seen again in the solar system. 350 hours on record. That's insane. That's great. 350 hours on record. And they're fucking wishing for nuclear disaster.